Hi everyone. Um, I hope you're all doing well this fine Saturday. We are ready to bring you some more delightful Mass Effect shenanigans in space. Um, uh, I'll do my little announcement in a bit. I'm gonna let the players introduce themselves first and foremost. But I am Hamalu. I am the storyteller slash galaxy mistress for this game. If everyone can just introduce yourselves. Thank you, thank you.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Obadiah, but today I am Diamant Pakis, a Drell Sentinel and expert in all things business, monetary, acquisitory, and even inquisitory.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the internets. Today, playing with these wonderful people, Victor Caveman Grace, the token human soldier pilot of the Myrmidon. Both of us use he, him pronouns, and we've got a lot to talk about today.
All right, and Chris?
Oh, whoops, sorry, y'all. Hey, everybody. It's Master Poet here. I'm playing Erdnot Char. I will be our group's uh, we'll say happy Krogan. It's a little different this week.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay or Kay Phoenix on the internet. Today I will be playing our ship's doctor, Dr. Selenu, who is our Vanguard Asari with an Elcor parent.
Mhm. They are the delightful crew of the Myrmidon, and we will be having a lot of on-ship discussions and happy fun times, maybe, here in a bit. Um, Normally, this would be my reminder to let you know that this is a viewer-affected game. However, things are working a little differently this week. This channel does not get run as a business. It is a place of entertainment and getting to de-stress from the world with each other and with the people that want to come and join us. So we are running today, but in reflection to the global strike that is happening this week, and push towards a ceasefire in Gaza, we are going to ask for no bits and subs today. If you want to contribute anything today, there's going to be a Nightbot link going around with a link to Doctors Without Borders and Save the Children for relief efforts in Gaza. So if you have pennies you were going to be sparing today, please direct it there, and hopefully we can get a ceasefire soon. Um, on that note, we will be getting started with today's session. Last week, the crew were getting a little bit of downtime with their shore leave at the Citadel. Some people were looking for some work that they might be able to bring aboard the ship. We had our new captain, who is sadly not with us today, our blessed Quarian leader, who had a few minor panic attacks trying to figure out if she's going to be able to do the job that she has recently obtained. Um, there was some touching emotional moments, but overall, they're gearing up to head out, all because Diamant managed to procure an interesting job for everybody, where some goods, unclear, some crates need shifted to the frozen icy planet of Noveria, which, amongst a couple of other things, is mostly home to a very large and very secretive research facility, um, where people are free to experiment and explore an advanced science, medicine, technology in a way that maybe they don't want eyes on. It's all about progress, though, right? Um, so they've agreed. The whole crew did agree. They discussed it like a little democracy, um, and decided that they were going to try and shift these goods because it was good money. hopefully they're going to be able to strategize how to actually get past all of the exceptionally tight security when you get to Noveria. That remains to be seen, and we will be finding that out today. One little job that also was picked up. There was a Quarian who uh, took up the signal from Diamant that they were heading Noveria way, and if anybody needed transportation to let him know. And Solarian, tall Solarian, has asked to hitch a ride to Noveria. They can pay, and they're going there with their own goods and technology, and hoping to sell their contract when they get there. It seemed legit. He trusted her. Uh, sort of figured out that she was a her. We'll see what that means. If they have a conversation. So today, we are doing a lot of conversing. So buckle up and get ready for some delightful roleplay, everybody. Who would we see once we have set off, disembarked, headed off into deep space? Who is likely kicking about first, would you say?
Sure. Let's check in with Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Like once course is all set, he's actually not at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
He's over at navigation, trying to pull up as much information about Noveria, the members of the Noveria Developmental Board uh, for the corp that owns the planet, and research as many of the names tied to that board as best as possible.
Okay. I would say this is perhaps electronics, I guess. We're doing a digital
A
exploration.
digital
So
search, yeah.
it could be investigation, or it could just be your ability to handle the
Let's do an
internet.
investigation so we can make some logical leaps.
Okay.
22.
Oh, yeah, I think with the 22, you definitely find some things. Okay, we are very much less focused on Novaria itself as a planet and more on the Novaria Development Corporation, is what you are
Yeah,
looking
I
into.
like the planet. It's icy. It's out of the way. It's not
Yeah,
tied to the Citadel control.
yeah. Um, So the Novaria Development Corporation, they are the holding company. There are a number of major high-tech companies. Big hitters that you do recognize are Binary Helix, Elanis Risk Control Services, and Synthetic Insights. There are numerous others, around about 2 dozen in total. Um, their interests get represented by the executive board. You are able to pull up the known members. While the corporation, obviously, a lot of what they do is somewhat vague in how they describe things, and it's difficult to get, nitty-gritty details with the things they're trying to cover up. But a lot of it has to present as very legitimate business. Because I'm sure many people there are legitimate business people. Um, so you're able to get the names. You also know that the current administrator is a slayer named Anolius. He's just a lovely person. Anybody who's played the games knows just how great he is. Um, but you are able to get at least the basics. I imagine there's those small little like profiles on the different
Yeah,
board
yeah.
members where you've got the little clean picture and a description of their background, whether it was in weapons technology, whether it was medicine, whether it was other chemical and synthetic things, various VI, and more technological based things. It gives you a bit of a spread. In
Okay.
terms of deep dives on them, if you wanted to click through a few of them, it might bring you up to um, essentially a the digital, uh, more futuristic Wikipedia. Um, the
I got the
basic
blurbs
information.
for like the Fortune 500 headshot and like
Yeah,
2.5 paragraphs for each of these people. Okay.
yeah. And some of it might give you a good background on their achievements,
Of course.
what their studies had originally been in, other businesses or corporations that they're tied to. It gives you the clean and safe to know information
Mhm.
about each of these people.
Um, Now, with there are two that I am immediately focusing on.
Hmm.
Um, that's going to be binary helix and loss risk control.
Yeah.
Um, because binary helix, if memory serves, does bioengineering wholesale
Hmm.
for both public and private militaries.
Hmm.
And ERC, I know at least makes weapon mods.
Yes.
Um,
Lots of
so,
them. Yeah.
so
I like that Binary Helix's motto is a better foundation, a stronger house.
it you you gotta love those corporate taglines.
Just so much, yeah. A lot of genetic engineering and biotech. Yeah.
Delightful. Um,
It's really above board stuff.
so a lot of risk control. I need to go further with them because if anyone's going to be providing security services for this little corporate enclave, it's probably going to be them
Hmm.
because they're going to want as much control, whether not necessarily directly on the board, indirectly by providing the
Yeah.
manpower.
Yeah. You you would have an awareness that ERC provide a lot of the security on Novaria itself and a few other
Okay.
places, obviously.
Um, Now, I have a question
Hmm.
based on we have established that we have gone to Novaria before. Well, it's two questions.
Okay.
One, did they confiscate anybody's Omni tools before entering?
No. I would say Omni tools, a lot of people will use it for things that are not um, combat based. Weapons, you would know you are not permitted to bring.
Yeah.
Um,
The second question is,
mhm.
um, do they keep people outside that have biotic implants?
Mm-mm. No,
So,
but some people just through the nature of who they are as people, I mean, they can't bar all of the Asari race, and there's a vast many of them that are.
so I'm going to make a logical leap.
Uh-huh.
They care about the appearance of security. They do
Yeah,
not care about actual security.
possibly. It's definitely one of the leaps you could take. Another leap could just be that should they have an awareness that you have um a fairly decent Omni tool or a biotic implant, because there's an awful lot of scanning when you cross. Maybe they have means of keeping extra close eye on those people.
Keeping a close eye is not actually security. If it was
True.
security, they would have two bases at the branch points before you actually entered Atmo that they would hold people for, quarantine and scanning as opposed to doing it on base. Um, so this is
Mm-hmm.
about the appearance of security, um, where they're going to have their people on base shadow those that they have tagged as dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like anyone who's fought alongside a combat engineer or biotic, um, your guns don't mean jack. Uh, so them confiscating the guns also means jack. Uh,
Mm-hmm. It's all just about making the
it's
scientists
making
and big buck people feel secure to
it
conduct what they need to there. Yeah.
it's making the white collars that haven't seen either end of a gun before feel comfy. Got it.
Yeah.
Um, which means that I have an idea, but first I need
Hmm.
to talk to both Diamant and Doc now that I have this info.
Okay. Yes. Um, is anyone else doing anything at this moment before we go to one of said conversations?
Does Cell have any research contacts she could pull on, maybe?
It's quite possible. Um, hmm.
Like she's been working on that well,
Halonazine. Yeah.
Halanazine, which is supposed to be a little hush hush. Um,
Hmm.
is there anything she could barter with knowledge wise?
Not necessarily at the security gates.
Well, I mean, with a
Um,
contact beyond security that she might be
um,
able to secure clearance for.
you could try. Um, this place is the nature of a lot of what goes on here is not necessarily the sort of things that Dr. Selena would necessarily be involved in.
Right.
Um,
But
would
if
you know
there's
something
someone
here?
she maybe is like, I'm developing an experiment, maybe I could run some ideas past you. Like someone she knows inside, be like, hey, can I visit and we can chat and
I would say
shoot the shit?
if you figure out exactly what it is that you're offering and then roll me a persuasion to see how persuasive that email is to somebody who perhaps is interested in knowing about medical advances that are a little on the hush hush.
Let's see. She might let's see how would she draft this? Working on an experimental procedure that involves a highly lucrative drug, not quite, above board. I have some ideas, but I wanted to run it past you. If you would like information and to help out, I would greatly appreciate it.
Would you, are you genuinely passing on valuable information to somebody there? Like,
No,
are you actually,
she would make shit up.
that's a deception roll.
Yeah. Not gonna go well, but we will try.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that was not gonna go well. And I'm not gonna use one of her nat 20s. That she's not a deception person per se.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep it real.
Um,
Oh,
the reply you would get, um, basically says that they would like you to outline the properties of this drug, what sort of thing can it do, like in which wheelhouse of biochem is it related to, so that you can discuss some of that beforehand before they suggest that they are interested, basically.
okay.
So
So
it
I'd have
is,
to come up with a chemical compound that could potentially be dangerous in real life. Because that's the only
yeah.
way they'll be able to agree.
Yeah. So you can spend a bit of time trying to figure out if there's something that you could genuinely offer. You are going to have time. You're far enough away from Navaria right now that it's gonna take uh,
Okay.
a sleep or two. We don't call it a day or two necessarily when you were just flying around space, but a sleep or two until you get there.
Okay.
Um, so you've got time to maybe figure out something, start drafting together things that would sound enticing. It's up to you how much of the real thing you put into it. Because
Yeah, I think she,
the thing you're gambling on is
yeah.
that what you're proposing is interesting enough or not something that they're already.
Right. I
working
don't
on.
think she would give the compound for halanazine specifically. She might come up with a different compound that's completely unrelated, but trying to
Hmm.
come off as this is what I'm researching. But then if she does come up with something that is legitimate and they use it as a weapon,
Yeah.
that's a guilt risk.
Okay. We will get better. You can be working on that. It'll take a little bit of time, and then I'll get you
Oh
to roll
yeah.
towards the end of just
Yeah.
seeing what you've managed to put together in
Okay.
terms of an enticing research.
All right.
Um, okay. So, Char and Diamant, was there anything you were doing before Caveman comes to approach you about his thoughts?
Not before.
Okay.
Currently, I'd say that Char was looking into any alliance contacts he might have that could help him get through security on Novaria. Um, and he also we'll say he got an email back about the necklace he had made for sale.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that the engraving is done and
Yep.
that they sent it to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're all set up with that to deliver when you see fit. Okay. In terms of alliance contacts, there is really not an alliance presence on Noveria. It's
Oh no, I was gonna
it,
say maybe like somebody I know that might have been ex Alliance that I might have been cordial with that happened to move to the area to we'll say do fun stuff.
mm, I would say um the result of that and what you might want to do about those sorts of things. It's something that you're maybe racking your brain about who you could possibly contact. I think having a conversation with Victor first will prove fruitful in that vein, given
Sounds
that you
good.
know that he too likely has similar people that he
Hmm.
knows, as he's one of them. Um, okay. Victor, who are you approaching first?
My partner in crime, Diamant.
Okay. Yeah.
But before the more reputable people, we go with the most disreputable.
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to.
Frankly, I have no idea why you're talking to me first then, but whatever.
Like, I love the idea that the door just slides, and then, like, from the side of the door, hey, Diamant.
Eh,
Uh,
that's a good word. We got you. Do you have our in? Are we that lucky?
uh, I don't necessarily have a way in. I have an idea of a way in.
I got two and a half of those already, but let's hear it.
Um, First things first, it's ERC that's most likely running security. Um, and what they're doing is white collar security. It's enough to make the stiff shirts actually think they're safe. They're not safe. They're not confiscating Omni tools and any biotic. They just keep an eye on. And you and I both know biotic could just rain merry hell, and it doesn't matter what guns ERC is equipped with. They're not going to be able to react in time. Um, so if all else fails, backup plan is I go full Karen on the security team there at the gate, telling them precisely that their security is as shitty as we all know. And if they don't let us through, I'm just going to email the people that actually know two things about an actual firearm, as well as, an engineer, biotics, and pull the lid off ERC's entire lack of security.
Okay.
That's worst case scenario.
Yeah. Trick there is we probably want to rehearse a little bit beforehand to make sure we can sell it. And
I I I don't need to rehearse that,
uh
Diamond. I
okay, okay.
I I grew up on Earth. Any Earther who wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth worked private security at one point before they joined the Alliance. I know what to say.
Okay, yeah, I'll trust you. That said, call that the back pocket.
That's Plan X.
Yeah,
Um, no, the more forward thing is we've got Binary Helix on planet. They're also one of the board members. Um, far far easier sell with who we have here aboard vessel. We have multiple ins, multiple ways that we can spin it. Um, if it's me, I can easily we can cook up one of a number of reliable holding names that we've used for me in the past. I'm thinking Voss for this one, and um,
that was not the one we wanted
go
for tax evasion, is it?
no, Voss is the one that shadowy corporate advisor. Um, I can say that with that one, I'm like here as a contact to try and set up a, let's make it modest, 7-figure short-term deal between Binary Helix and a private alliance-based security firm about being able to enter the market with better competing personnel. Stuff like faster regen times, visual acuity, reflex packages.
And as part and parcel of that, we've brought along some and DM out like motions afoot towards where we've currently got the packages stored, and part and parcel of that, we've got some proofs of concept that we need to run through experimentation. But as you all understand, we've got to maintain confidentiality as well as ensure that minimum interference is done with our subjects before testing time.
And this is why I come to you beforehand. Um, then the next, probably our best bet on this one, because Doc speaks the lingo, is, but the hard part is convincing Doc to do this. Um, Going about still through Binary Helix, since they are a loosely, um, I believe, uh, Asari organization, or at least that was the founding.
Uh,
That
they're I think they have a lot. I don't know if they're Novaria based, but last I checked, large presence there because most of what they focus on is, yeah, genetics, biotics.
yeah.
Novaria
So
is not supposed to be.
having an Asari, especially a one that's a doctor, approach them about a hush hush genetics project that they're looking to have, you know, several companies working on at the same time as part of a bid sounds plausible and allows us to get most likely the maximum amount of packages through, because as much as Novaria can drown us in red tape, there is nothing more terrifying than the sorry diplomat. Their red tape will outlast multiple lifetimes of most of me.
Yeah,
Um,
the trick is we don't want to play that card deeper than we have to, because then what happens next is, sooner or later, the Asari we've roped in, does their homework and realizes they've never heard of us before, and therefore that she's got pieces to play. She's got pieces to play with and all the leverage in the world.
This is why I'm running things by you. And then what I feel is the long shot play is using either Shar or the captain about a genetic modification thing due to their entire species having issues.
Yeah, I see it. I think the thing there is we might have to lead a little bit strong because with that, what we would probably want to do is try and talk him into letting us rent or reserve somebody's laboratory. Speaking of, any chance you've had time to look into Erica Landell, person we want to talk to on once we're on the other side for more work.
Not yet. I was just getting all the corporate headshots and
Fair cop, fair.
lingo. But now that you pointed me towards a target, I will definitely let my fingers do some walking.
Right,
Uh,
right.
Last bit more personal business. So you heard about the Eden Prime thing.
Yeah, nasty business. I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly comfort or not, but just with the channels I keep open, uh, some of the more radical Batarians, the way they're reacting, I don't think this is some. I don't think this is something. I don't think this is something they. I don't think it's something they did.
So this isn't a revenge for Torfin thing.
If it is, they kept it so quiet that even their people don't know. And I can't prove it, but I think I've got a couple ops who lurk chats to blow off steam,
Okay.
and they weren't anywhere near.
The thing that's put a tick in my sock has been the mentioning of Shepard. Like the hero of the Blitz wasn't there having a vacation. If she was there, it was for some damn good reason. And right now, the press is being awfully quiet about everything.
You
I
do
just
have a couple of people that you could pull some threads at to see the hush hush news channels about things like that, should you want to.
and yeah, like at that that's a name. That's a name. I can give me a minute. And yeah, like just right in front of you, like he pulls up and like starts yeah, like just starts asking about yeah, like hey, what's that Shepherd been doing? Been hearing something haven't been hearing about what they were doing, and feels like the kind of thing they want plastered all over the news feeds. That's a good word.
Yep. What skill would you barter that you would use for this?
For that, I think I would actually be using insight, but to figure
Mm-hmm.
out yeah, like in the resulting chit and chatter,
Yeah.
like who is actually like talking from like
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
knowledge rather than just
I like
vibes
that.
and biased.
I think because it's almost as if you were using blanket out insight of your contacts kind of deal rather than
Yeah.
it being you yourself. Yeah, and I like that.
Okay. Okay. Yep. And let's roll it.
Mhm.
That's a 13. Do I want to reroll that? Do I have a reroll? Let me see. Where's
I
that?
imagine you have a
Sh- I
few.
probably do.
You have one inspiration, and you also have six nat
Yes.
20s.
Oh, Okay, that feels entirely like too many. Let me just start burning those.
Yeah.
Well,
Use them if you got them.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can absolutely use
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and throw that in there.
You get back short burst reports from a few people. And so crossing them over to see where the patterns lie, you get a couple confirmations that some shit went down on Eden Prime, and people are saying that it's yeah, the news isn't telling you the full story, basically, is kind of what they start coming through. And then those that you know have real ears to the ground. One tells you that they have um insider information aboard a certain ship that was curious to learn that not only were they moving with Shepard, but that there was a Spectre aboard, a Turian one. So clearly something was pretty serious. Another is somebody who was getting information from one of their contacts on Eden Prime as it was happening. They don't have information about Shepard and that side of things, but they did see some robot-looking things that were attacking people. So the actual attack was coming from something synthetic, not
I
organic.
wonder what those could be.
I wonder, yeah.
Yeah, synthetics,
Um,
synthetic like
and they'll
robots.
maybe show you, because just in classic Mass Effect form, it'll show you like a short little vid that was sent to them, and it's got that slightly blurred like camera footage, and you can see some Geth shooting at people. You're
Yeah,
a
and
worldly enough man to know what the Geth were, yeah. They're not
this is
commonly seen this side of space.
and like he kind of switched for a second, like plays it back. Look at this. He just sends it over to you directly so you can like just look at it on your own
Yeah.
Omni tool.
On these one. What the fuck?
There was Shepard was with a Spectre, Tyrion. Uh Definitely, I don't think I have anybody highly placed enough to give me a name for that, but uh only so many Tyrion Spectres. I figure if it's the kind of thing you had the time for, you could probably narrow it down to two, three, maybe four tops, just based on where they were last seen.
Spectre was involved. Geth were involved. Something. There had to be something on that planet. It may have been a person. It may have been an AI program. Something was on that planet. Because the Geth wouldn't just be hitting, farmers.
Yeah, especially not that far away from what used to be the Korean homeworld.
They're outside the Perseus Veil, especially that far. Something was on that planet.
Yeah,
Something that the Citadel high level Alliance intelligence and the Geth all want.
well, I think the trick is and who knew first. Because then you start knowing who was coming after who. Like, maybe the guys were chasing something. Maybe they knew before the Alliance did. Maybe they knew
I'm,
before the Citadel did.
I'm of two minds on this. Like, one thing, like, if we stay ignorant about this, we're probably going to fall under the radar. But if we look further into this, we can probably make a good amount of creds, but we're also putting all of us in danger.
The trick is Spectre business.
Yeah,
And Spectre business can pay because even if all you can do is just confirm names and places, a shadow broker is going to pay. The shadow broker shells out, and that ain't nothing. But problem is, specters specters have impunity, and specters get real self-protective. A specter thinks you're shadowing them. If they get tetchy, they might get violent. Maybe we could talk them down. No telling. Sometimes even specters are reasonable, but it's a risk.
you swim in this sea more than the rest of us. I'm going to leave the ball in your court. You make a play with the captain that we should look into this, I'll back you. But this is your call.
Maybe I run the numbers once we've gotten over this problem in front of us, and we'll see how I feel about it. Well, speaking of, a couple other ideas. One thing, one thing that's kind of been eating me is it's about the guest, female Solarian. Didn't almost didn't clock it, but female Solarian, and something. Call me, like maybe, and maybe I'm just not quite remembering, but isn't it a bit weird that she's alone? That doesn't feel.
I I have to plead human ignorance on this one. Don't really interact with a lot of Solarians. They usually talk way too fast, and um, aside from fashion and face paint, they kind of all look the same.
Oh, see, that's the thing. That's because you're used to men. And like just about every Solarian you'll see, male. You don't see a lot of females, and I know
Tiamat,
it's a
I'll allow another history check, this time with advantage
yeah,
because you do have the now time and ability to you know,
yeah. Let's have a go.
take some time with your memory banks.
A solid 10.
Solid 10, solid 10. Um, okay. Yeah, it's still not you know the thing that you do know is that you just basically never see female Solarians. That part you do know. But the why and the exact nature for the significance of that is still beyond your grasp at the moment.
I don't. Maybe maybe I'll bring it up with the doc. Maybe I heard about some medical thing once, and maybe she's just a bit, I don't know, healthier than average, and there's nothing to it. But
It could be a cultural thing. Again, I most of my time when it comes to alien cultures, most of the stuff that I know is Victorian or Asari.
yeah, the
Thanks
thing
to
I'm
hanging out with you and Char, I'm starting to get some other stuff, but I'm really ignorant about it all.
Yeah. The thing, the reason I'm kind of stuck on it is I feel like if if it's something particular, something cultural, maybe even political, it's something that we might be able to lean on. User like well, probably have to deal her in a little bit. Which all things considered, probably wouldn't be too hard to just cut her a break on financing and pitch that like a payday. Uh, but you could probably use her as a way to work
Legitimize
it.
our packages.
Yeah, not only work in the cargo, but basically, pitch us like a combination security detail, dock worker, so on, so on, so on. And they walk us right on through. They don't question her too hard because she's too important to be questioned. And out the other side, no muss, no fuss.
If it is sort of like a genetic rarity thing, then the security detail makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and especially like pitch it like doing the kind of work that it's above at least above the pay grade of the grunts work in the work in the checkpoint.
So, in other words, buff out all the scuffs on the armor, make sure everything looks peachy clean and more threatening than it is.
Yeah, exactly, kind of thing where we keep Char a little bit closer to front, probably pitch it like I'm I don't know. We can probably work out rolls ahead of time
Okay,
since we're probably gonna want everybody on foot and out for it.
makes sense. All right. Well, um, yeah, balls in your court. I'll go and see what I can look up on our contact on planet. Gonna poke my head in, check with the doc, just get a temperature. But as for any sort of play as to what we've discussed, that I'll leave to you because you've got a better head for this.
Yeah,
Espionage is kind of, I come after the espionage.
yeah, and I'll do a little bit of feeling out. Walking in a little blind, but uh she doesn't know me, so I might just be able to bluff her out and uh get her on side before we have the details settled.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Stay living.
Time to go and get my temperature taken.
Nice.
Uh,
Okay. So you were heading to see the doc just now, Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Diamant, where is it you're heading?
To see our passenger.
A passenger. Okay. Let's do Victor and the doc first then.
Hey,
Yeah.
Doc. Headaches are back.
So we'll be you'll see a lot of like chemical compound charts and stuff like everywhere. Like she's working on something and um does Birdie want to like get her attention? She's a little hyper focused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Doing some homework,
Birdie will
Doc?
sort of like essentially like switch on to like active mode when you come in, Victor, and will and announce your arrival to Cell.
She'll look up. Yes, caveman.
Uh, Probably need some more of those headache go away sleep well pills.
Ah, of course. And she'll go into her cabinet with all her things that are ready to go and hand you another bottle of what
Uh,
you need.
I hate to pry, but given where we're going, you have any history or connection with a company by the name of Binary Helix?
Mhm.
I may have a contact. What is it you require?
I'll let Diamet fill in the details, but smoothing the entire security situation so that they don't poke at the packages that we're delivering. Though it would be nice to be able to move all of our, guns in with us, but not that we actually any of us need guns. Um, but guns are useful. That and the other angle that I can think of is, do you have any ties to the eclipse?
Not that I am aware of.
Oh, well, that fills in a couple of bucks. Um, all right. Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome, caveman.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
As you turn around, a few little pings will come in. Sel, if you could roll me a medicine check, please, to see how complete and enticing you've put together a document. Okay.
It's coming along.
It's coming along. You're starting to figure out some things that you figure might entice the sorts of organizations that work here. Typically the stuff that they research on Noveria is less so beneficial medicines and more so things that would be considered perhaps medical advancements. But the companies that operate there, particularly those that are more geared towards bioengineering and uh, chemical engineering, like binary helix, is that it is the sort of stuff that they need to be able to do free of groups that would protest what they're doing, people that have objections to testing this on live subjects, or you know how like there's a lot of controversy around people like in our world of like growing organs so that you could use that for transplants and that a lot of people have moral problems with this. So basically this place is free for some things are unsavory, some things are dangerous, some things are just it hits against some people's morals, but may actually have beneficial purposes. So you have enough of an awareness to figure out something that could entice. So currently still in the cooking phase of that idea, I would say with a 13.
Yeah.
But you're getting there.
Yeah. She's warring with which avenue she wants to go with.
Yeah.
With all these charts out and all of her research.
Especially with a layer such as Victor just brought to you there of like, what could you do that's actually going to allow you to get these crates on as well as just an audience with.
Right.
So now maybe that's added an extra layer to what you're trying to do, and it's incorporating that layer that's perhaps just going to take a little bit longer. Okay, very good. Um, Char, I just want to check in with you if there's something you want to do before Diamant goes to view the guest.
Uh, let's see.
I mean, I know that you were considering going to find Victor about alliance contacts and somebody who might be on a security team to perhaps
Actually,
contact.
now I want to go and just check on Victor and give him my condolences because I've heard about the stuff on Eden Prime.
Okay.
Um, and I'm just trying to see where his head's at before we move forward.
Okay. Yeah, you can perhaps in trying to find it. I mean, a lot of you will, when you need to find someone, it's very easy to essentially just have Prism do it. You don't even necessarily need to have a conversation, but because you do have this experimental AI that is aboard your ship, and she's clued into each of you and your biorhythms and your omni tools, so yeah. You
Hey,
can just
Prism.
go and find him. Hey, what's up?
Could you tell me where Caveman is? I gotta talk to him.
Yeah, like totally. Yep, he is currently walking away from the med bay.
Oh, good. I'll be able to kill two birds with one stone.
Don't kill
Uh,
them. She just like giggles as she
listen.
essentially turns off.
Oh no. Before you go, Prism.
Uh-huh.
Also, where's the Solarian on the ship? I not want to walk into them. I, you know about our history.
Yeah, I do. You know what's kind of curious? And I've been tracking it rather than raising it as a problem right now, but she has been like moving around the ship and not just hanging out in her room or the social space. But
I'm
I'm,
sorry. Did you say she?
uh-huh.
We have a
Yeah.
female Solarian on board.
My scan suggests taller than usual, slightly widening of the leg area. Yep, and the way the horn, yep, I think so, yeah.
I
She
didn't
doesn't
even
know that I know,
realize
but
they
mostly
had
because
females.
she doesn't know that I'm here. I love it when the guests don't know.
Keep an eye on her. She's not to be trusted.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make my way over to try to catch Caveman in the hallway.
Uh-huh. Maybe with a slightly faster, for a Krogan.
Yeah, for a crook.
You're built for charging.
Yeah, and they
Mhm.
don't like it when I charge on the ship. So
No.
Hey, kid, man.
Swallowing the last of the pills because he eats them like Pez. Um. Hey, Char, what's up?
I saw about eating crime, man, and I'm really sorry.
Thanks. Good news is, according to Diamant, it's not because of Torfan.
It's not?
No.
Then who attacked?
The Geth.
The what?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about this. Where are you getting your information?
Pulls up the video that Diamant sent him.
Well, damn. How are we responding?
Uh, that's, well, as for the Alliance, this is most likely hush hush because, I mean, hell, Shepard was there. And
Shepard?
yeah,
What
that
the?
that at least hit the newsreels. But as to why, no, this is high Alliance intelligence. Because if the Geth were there, Shepard was there, and there's rumors that a Turian Spectre was also there.
What in the hell were the guests doing on Eden Crime? It was a farming plant, all that I know.
They may have found something from a dig. It may have been that like somebody had an AI as part
Oh
of one
boy.
of the corporate interests that the Geth took an interest in. Like, there's any number of reasons. Hell, there could have been. I mean, we don't know. It could have been a Quarian out there that the Geth wanted revenge on. Until we get more reason. But like this stinks of high alliance intelligence because there isn't a greater presence. The PDF there were definitely undergunned for whatever was coming their way.
You're not lying.
So I Diamant has a better idea about any of this. Part of me wants to like look into it, but I also know this is Alliance intelligence. We step our foot in this, there's no getting out.
Is there anything we can do from the fringes, you think, that might be able to help?
If there is any way that we can help, probably need to talk to the captain. We
He's
barely
busy.
know the Geth. Like, if anyone's going to have an idea as to what would drag them out of the veil, it's going to be the captain.
Have you told her yet?
No, because I wanted to make sure that it was entirely doped up before I even broached the idea.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Um, how are you holding up though? Like, I know this can't be easy.
I was one of the Thunderers of Torfan. How do you think I feel?
Uh, pretty shitty. I can imagine.
Yeah, but somewhat relieved because apparently this wasn't Batarians. So
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
racking up the high score isn't the reason that people on Eden Prom died today.
Again, I'm sorry. And if there's anything I can do, you just let me know. Um, I
If
guess. And Shepard? Ah,
Yeah, no, it's this is messy. This is how I got kicked out messy.
oh, okay. Um, I don't like the sound of that. I really don't like the fact that Shepard is there. Um, what about our mission on Novaria? Anything that you know of? I haven't been able to contact anybody.
Ugh, they don't have actual security. They just have white collar security, enough to make the pencil pushers feel safe. But
Uh-huh.
getting our packages passed may need to involve our current passenger, might be a play of any number of things. The amounts running the numbers. Um, if all else fails, I can just put on my hard alliance face and yell at the security detail. Um, but that's Plan X.
What if I come in and I play bodyguard? They're used to
That's
seeing
one.
Harrowings in a mercenary type outfit, I guess.
It is definitely one of the many options at play. I think Diamond actually for as much as we all give him shit, he's got a head for this and
Yeah, he does.
knows how to play each of our strengths and our weaknesses. Little shit. Um, but more than anything, it's going to be interesting to see what he proposes to the captain. Because I don't know about you, but he's changed his mannerisms.
A little bit. A little bit. I'm wondering, do you think he might be trying to play both sides?
I think he's trying to feel out the captain.
Trying to see what he can get away with.
No,
That
no,
sounds
no, no,
like
no, no.
Diamond.
This is different. If it was
Oh,
feeling out, he'd be needling her more. This feels different.
okay. All right. Should I keep my guard up?
If the mannerisms start shifting again, yeah, we keep our guard up. That's when we get hijack poo in places that we can't get it out of.
Was patting other things. I'll get him.
No, but if there's a play to be made, we're definitely going to be a part of it. It's just figuring things out. But I'm wasting enough of your time. Go and see the reason you're down here. As
Well, you were the first. I will go and see her now.
just smiles as he walks away.
All right. So at that point, I'm going to head the opposite direction, and
Mm,
I'm going to go see our doctor.
okay. So you head off, the pair of you going in separate directions. Diamant, you're heading
Mm.
to find the guest, and it's almost as if either Prism knows exactly what you're doing, because she may or may not be able to hear all conference going on, including the one you had with Caveman, and saying where you were going. Um, uh, but it's perfectly timed as perhaps you go to like start up the comms you would have with Prism to ask where said guest is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Diamant.
Ism.
How's it hanging?
Oh, got a plate spinning. Ideas. What's that? What's that human expression? Percolating?
Percolating. Yeah. That's the thing that like coffee does, right? You can percolate coffee.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hmm. Well, I just thought you'd like to know. Our guest that you have brought aboard our ship.
Uh-huh.
Well, she's been moving around a bit. She's not too far away from the entertainment room now. And one thing that I definitely don't do all the time is getting into people's Omni tools and their communications.
It's
But
appreciated.
maybe it's a safety measure to do that with the guests that we bring on board, right? It's just for your safety.
It just might be. Is there call it a an analyzed risk factor that I perhaps have not considered?
Keeping you all safe and sound. The interesting thing is, I can't get into hers. She's been typing away in her Omni tool and I can't figure out what she's doing. And that's odd for me. Must be pretty
All
advanced
right.
stuff.
All right. You said she was just outside the entertainment center.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've got three entrances based on where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is her back turned to the door leading from the kitchen?
It is going to be in the next 2.5 minutes.
All right. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna focus a little. Maybe get a couple of prayers in, and then I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
see if I can't get an alternate angle of viewing
Okay.
for yeah. You already know how to hook in.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got
we'll
your
see if
back.
we can.
Ride or die, dear man. And it's actually like the sound of gunshots like from a movie.
And then like you know what actually like twitches slightly like
Uh-huh.
his hand goes to where a sidearm would
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
mm,
yeah. Keeping you on your toes.
clever girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get at this.
Okay. Yeah, you can go down. Please roll me a stealth if you're trying to sneak up on her.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky.
Sneaky, make sure I'm not rolling with advantage.
Sneaky.
A 21.
Very sneaky.
Yeah. Um. Mm-hmm. You believe you're very, very stealthy, yeah. Because you know yourself how quiet you are.
Mhm.
Um. So you're pretty confident this would beat most people's perceptions.
All right, so yeah, then what I'm going to then try and do is just get myself right in position that I can like see. I might not be tall enough to actually like see over her shoulder, but like around her body enough that I can manually see what she's doing.
Okay. Perception check for me, please.
Okay. Advantage from positioning.
Yeah, I would say so.
Eh, perception. A soft 20.
Nice. Soft, gentle. Um, you manage to get yourself into a position where your angle is such that the arm that it seems that her Omni tool is on, you're getting a good angle of that. You get a brief moment where it looks like it could be schematics, whether that is of a building or even just inner workings of machinery or shit like it's enough to be aware that it's something that's an image and not text. Um and she pushes a couple of buttons and then it kind of disappears as there's a slight cock of the head.
Oh, sorry, were you busy with something? Just came through. Wanted to talk.
Oh, you know the minds of my people, I'm always busy. Um, and with that, we are gonna go to break, everyone, as we're about an hour and a half in. Um, provided our producer's there and good to go. Thank you for joining. We're gonna take about 5-10 minutes just to stretch, hydrate, bathroom break as needed. You guys should be doing the same. We will see you back here shortly. Oh. Just keep waving, everyone. It's fine. Prism's distracted. Hey, hi everyone.
Hey.
What's up? Welcome back. I hope you stretched, hydrated, went to the bathroom if you needed it. We are ready to get right back in. We had a very sneaky Diamant sneaking up on a perhaps very perceptive Solarian. Um, and polite exchange was had as you did so. She does turn to more fully look at you and give uh a pleasant smile after saying that you know how her people work. She's always busy.
Hmm. So, come to think, it's bit odd that you're traveling alone. Is there something that happened, or
I don't know what you mean. I mean, a lot of people travel alone, surely.
well, it's galaxy's a large place. Sometimes cultural standards can be a bit particular about that kind of thing, and Solarians believe your culture is also particular about well, how would you phrase it? Proper, let's say, proper tribute to your women.
Um, they tilt their head for a little moment, and then give a light shrug and a chuckle. There are certainly cultural norms amongst my people regarding our females. You're not wrong. But there can be exceptions to the rule, surely. I mean, the general makeup of your crew is also considered quite unusual to some. But
You're
those
not
of us
wrong.
who are in the know that it takes all sorts, does it not?
You're not wrong. But still, assumptions, expectations, I found they can be made use of, which is part of the reason I've come to bother you. I hope I wasn't interrupting anything, was I? Seemed like you were at work.
No, I just always find I have to be on the move. If I sit still too long, it just gets a little too noisy in my head. I hope you don't mind. I didn't see
Oh,
anything that, or any out of bounds signs where I have been going.
oh no. I can guarantee you, if anywhere on the ship that we have, if for whatever reason that we well and truly would like our passengers not to enter, will be appropriately marked. And worst comes to worst, we do have a ship VI that can alert you to that kind of thing if you happen to wind your way through, say, an unexpected entrance or some such.
Excellent. I will be sure to do so.
Um,
It is very gracious of you to come and check on me.
of course, of course, customer service is always a priority.
Hmm.
That said, there's an opportunity that I thought you might want to be aware of because I believe if you remember I did mention earlier opportunities or rather assumptions and the utility thereof because Naviria it's the kind of place that runs on assumptions, profits on assumptions, and I think it would be correct enough to presume that you are heading there in no small part to make your own profits. And I imagine, and I sus- and I expect that the Novarian authorities would be more than willing to make some allowances given their presumption of your position and importance, as well as the unquestionable fact that you are on business and on business that's, well, is self-evidently important, far too important to be questioned, interrupted, and held up.
Mm, you do have a way with words, don't you? What is it about my importance or status are you alluding to?
Well, the and perhaps this might require a little bit of how would you call it, pitching beforehand to make sure that you seem just that little bit more important than is perhaps or at least more politically weighty than is perhaps strictly relevant to you. And of course, you wouldn't expect you to worry too much about negotiating. After all, you would be playing the part of somebody who doesn't have the time for these kinds of things. That's why you have hired experts to handle all of that useless red tape for you so you can focus on what matters, on your research, on your products, on your profits.
I wonder, uh, Diamant is your name, yes?
Yes.
I wonder if what you're proposing is that you are helping me get past the security, or you're proposing that I am helping you.
Well, I suppose that's a fair enough question, and I don't go in for deceiving business partners, so of course I am asking for your help here, and uh, we're willing to compensate you, of course. Up to well, just I suppose I call it off the top of the head, 40% rebate on travel costs, and if you've got time, we will be pursuing additional opportunities on Novaria itself, and if you are amenable to making additional contacts, I'm sure they wouldn't be averse to meeting you, maybe even making some introductions to the kinds of people you might want to be professionally connected to.
I wonder, do you have somewhere secure to have such a conversation? A corridor beside your. And she looks at the room and gives another head tilt. Entertainment suite is perhaps not the most secure.
Of course, got an area properly soundproofed, decently comfortable, um,
Lead the way.
and normally locked, but and he doesn't quite pitch his voice up, but he does just
Mm.
like tap his own tool anyway, just to ping Prism. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know I understand the captain has certain standing orders, but I hope you can recognize emergency provision and an emergency provision for what it is, and just let me smoothly make it into the captain's quarters without having to pick this lock.
And you'll hear in your earpiece, "Got your back, Diamond." Pew, pew, pew. And it's like quiet whispered. But and you believe that the way will be unlocked for you, yes.
Of course, please follow me.
Okay. And she'll follow you. Her gait's quite long. She's at least a foot taller than you. Um, and will follow you through to the, I'm assuming, captain's quarters.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you're able to head in there. I imagine there's the personal part of the suite that's like the bedroom. And then there's an area that's more desk. There's maybe somewhat of a coffee table-esque thing here with a couple chairs and
Right.
it's elegant and sleek because this would have been the captain for a very, very elite alliance
Yeah,
branch at that point. Yeah.
yeah, and our new captain hasn't had that much time to customize it to her own
Yeah,
tastes just yet.
you the last time that you'd perhaps peeked your head in was after there had been adjustments to the lighting to give more of a rotating RGB vibe. But when you go in, it seems that they have been set by Prism to just be like your standard well lit professional affair.
Yes, please, of course, feel free to take a seat here. I suppose if you are much more interested in me than expected, I suppose we could retire somewhere more private. But
She does chuckle, not like in a like laughing at you kind of way, but
yeah,
is amused by the offer.
yeah. But still,
Mm-hmm.
business.
Business. Um, so, contemplating the proposal that you set before me, I can only assume that you perhaps do not yet have a secure or legitimate means to get onto the actual planet itself yet?
We have options, but they're the kinds of options that's just, well, let's say, the kinds of options that are not as reliable as we might appreciate, and potentially could make the entire process just a lot more um, bureaucratic than we might prefer.
And I'm assuming then that you have been hired to do what? What is it that you are doing? Aside from transporting me, I believe you were heading that way anyway.
I'd like to roll an insight check here to see if
Uh-huh.
like is there an assumption she has that she wants to confirm,
Yep.
or is she genuinely just wrong?
Sure. Roll for me.
Ooh, that is a
Oh,
natural one. I
that.
don't like that one bit. Not,
Oh.
do I want to? Yeah, I've still got too many of those nat 20s. Let's go ahead and
I was gonna say
Oh,
do six.
she's
yeah,
a
we're
Solarian.
she is a they're notoriously difficult to read. They don't have the same capacity, I suppose, for facial expressions that some of the other races do. Um, General wording, her seeming openness to this conversation, and she hasn't balked at what you've suggested yet, which may imply that she's not um in any way offended or actually surprised or shocked at the the current situation. It does seem that she perhaps already has some awareness of what it is you are doing.
Okay. Well, I suppose if you would like to confirm what you've already assumed, let's say that you're correct. we have a client who'd we have a client who'd like us to get to a certain place without making unnecessary trouble or being held up for longer than is absolutely necessary. But confidentiality is what it is, so they can't notify the authorities ahead of time.
Do you know what it is that you're transporting?
Confidentiality is what it is.
I don't need to know what it is. I need to know if you know.
Not in detail. I can we know a couple vague things about what it isn't. Certainly not a biohazard, certainly not alive.
Hmm,
Beyond that,
I see. So then, seems you're perhaps not complicit in what is going on. Interesting.
complicit is a strong word.
It certainly can be. Do you do this kind of work often?
Often enough to be relied upon, not often enough to not often enough to have a long record or well, people don't come to me, officers don't come to me when they have questions, when they have uncomfortable questions about unpleasant activities, shall we say.
Hmm. I imagine too, in order the security and confidence in those that hire you, you ask as little questions as possible about such things so that you are not compromised with the information.
As a matter of professional courtesy, and often enough, well, the people who are ethically concerning understand well enough not to come my way when they want work done that has ethical concerns.
I wonder where your crew stands on work that can be intensely harmful to an entire species. Do you still turn a blind eye at that point if
If
the
we
price is
did,
right?
if we did, I don't think our Quarian gunnery master would still be on the crew after all these years.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ma'am,
I
with
wonder.
all due respect, I think I've been fairly open here, and
You have.
your statements lead me to believe that you know something you know something about this package, something that we don't. Something very materially important. I understand that well, I'm prepared to negotiate if negotiating is what it takes, but I think I'd like very much to know what that is.
Hmm. Indeed. I've taken a rather big risk in being willing to say what I have. I could easily plead ignorance and not have come to have this conversation with you, but I'm going what is the turn of phrase? Out on a limb. And I have a question that is incredibly important before I say more.
I'll answer honestly.
What do you believe is more important to your crew? Profit or doing something that is morally right?
Doing what's morally right. Perhaps you've made some assumptions about my character, but there are reasons that I am not the captain.
I try not to make presumptions necessarily on people's opinion. I use things that I have observed as a basis of fact where possible.
I see, but my answer stands.
Hmm. I am going to reveal something to you that perhaps you will understand why it is something that I will reveal only sparely to yourself and not to your entire crew at the same time.
Of course.
Is our conversation truly in confidence?
The ship's VI has access, but is not recording. There is hidden, as far as hidden audio devices go, the only one who could place them here is standing right in front of you, and like he reaches under the table, and just like basically just taps
Yeah.
a couple of places where he
Uh-huh.
has placed them
Uh-huh.
before,
Uh-huh.
and she can easily check and see that there's nothing there now. And I'm not proficient enough to
Mhm.
have stored anything that couldn't be picked up on a scan. If you do want to make that scan now, feel free.
She does pull up her Omni tool, and you can see that she is in fact scanning the room. Um, she doesn't necessarily comment on anything that she may or may not have found. You're not entirely sure what all she's been able to scan about your ship in general. Um, it is a curious thing that uh Prism hasn't been able to figure out any of that either. She's usually very good at that kind of thing. The crates that you are transporting, their final destination is to a very particular lab on Bavaria. The people there, quite a number of them are of my people, with a few others sprinkled in. They are currently exploring. I do not believe they have yet found an answer to what it is that they're trying to create. But I believe what you're transporting may give them an advancement that I am not comfortable with. They're looking to create augmentations and an ability to be resistant to reverse engineering the genophage. They're wanting to make it so that it is resistant to anybody's attempts to try and undo it. Obviously, they're having to do this secretly. This politically would create quite the hubbub. I'm not going to go into my personal history, but that is something that I cannot abide. What I plan on doing, well, you don't necessarily need to know that. You don't need to be complicit to that. But I think it's important you know what you're transporting is very dangerous, even if it itself is not toxic or harmful. I hope now
Uh,
you can understand why I have not told your crew. This was not something I've seen many number of people, bandits essentially, that will do anything for money.
I see. I suppose the operative question, given given what I now understand, we've been roped into. Suppose the operative question is, would you be able to ensure that these are disposed of? Uh, see that they quietly go somewhere where they won't be found again.
She will grin a little in that way that's kind of me personally, I think it's really adorable when Solarians grin. But it looks a little odd. Um, Believe me when I say my capabilities are such that I will be removing the entire problem, not just these crates.
I see. Then, with that in mind, given the implications that has towards, shall we say, follow up business, um, what are the going rates on backup?
If it is money that you need, I'm sure it could be arranged. However, I am, as I say, capable of what I'm proposing. Although perhaps a getaway vehicle would be appreciated. And she'll grin again. However, if you want to be involved, I would need to know the full extent and breadth of the skill sets of those aboard. I cannot have anything being sloppy. These crates still need to be delivered.
I see. Then, at least in that case, it seems like we could still, at least as far as dealing with custodial concerns at entry, then playing a little game with the playing a little game with the security theater should still do well enough to get us through smoothly. And from there, I suppose we might have to start improvising, but we've still got a few cycles before it's go time. And
I am more
I've
than
got
happy
some,
to assist in getting past that threshold if you like. I will not be bandying around my name. My presence here is something that has to be unknown to them for as long as possible for this to work.
I see. Okay. I can adapt to that.
I can perhaps explain further, but I believe we could then bring it to your whole crew.
Yes. I have there are definitely this changes enough that I need to keep the crew apprised so that we can adapt appropriately. Although it does it does bring one thing to mind. There's a human, Erica Landell. She I don't know if this is the terminology that you might have adopted, but is she a person of interest to you?
You will recall when I said there are some people who are willing to do whatever to make money.
Yes,
I believe she is one of them.
I see.
But this does give you a way to Play them like a fiddle.
Yes, but the trick with those people when you really want to make them dance is the strings need to be made of credits, and sometimes it can be a little bit thin coming out of your own pockets.
That's not a problem for me.
I'll keep that in mind. But all that said, I've got some things to notify the crew about, and don't mean to be a bad host, but I will have to lock the door behind you.
That's quite all right. I will go back to my quarters and you can let me know when you are ready to speak with me.
Of course.
I apologize ahead of time for the dents that your Krogan friend may leave at this news. And she will get up and go to leave.
That might be
Yeah,
the
he like
least.
yeah, he waits for the door to close behind her before sighing.
Mm-hmm.
Then all right, Prism.
Oh boy, I was not expecting that. Ooh.
Yeah, call it call the meeting uh yeah, down in the hold. Near one of Char's preferred haunts.
Can do. Pew, pew, pew. And then a message will go out to all of you. Um, Hey everyone, I hope you're all having an excellent time. Food will be in a few hours, I imagine, because y'all need to get your nutrients. However, there is going to be a group meeting down in the hold.
The hold pops 2 more pills.
Why are we meeting down here?
Um, Diamant has something that he has to pitch to the whole gang.
Okay.
It's juicy.
Char is definitely playing whatever he thinks is calming music right now because he knows it's not going to be good.
So we'll just sigh, kind of grab a clipboard full of her notes and Birdie and be like, sure.
As chewing on the pain pills, rushing to the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
getting the big bag of instant popcorn,
Yes.
popping that, and getting the step ladder so I can get into the secret cache of chocolate chip muffins
Yeah.
on the top of the cabinets.
Okay. Yeah, you keep that well hidden. With the stuff that you managed to get on from the Citadel, you have your places for hiding certain things. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's particularly secure because it has to be hijack proof.
Yes, since it's high up. No, there.
Yeah.
This has the padlock.
Yeah.
Um,
Hijack's smart. Hijack can get a lot of things. Padlock's not so much. Yeah. Okay. You are free to bring
yeah,
snacks and calming music and notes.
there's fresh popcorn.
Uh-huh.
There's chocolate chip muffins.
Yeah.
And then they're like in the other hand is carrying like 12 pack of soda.
Yep.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
we can't break out the beer because that's just putting things on easy mode for him, and that would be a disservice.
Yeah. All right. I love it. So you are free to all make your way down to the hold. And you do
Yeah.
see Diamant there.
Yeah, in fact, you see Tiamat like actually kneeling on a prayer mat. Which usually he is for people who have actually studied up on Drill, he is shockingly private about his religiosity usually.
Hmm.
Uh, and it is in fact it is something of a surprise to see him praying uh, as he is, and in fact, figure by the time everybody arrives, he like it's about 7, 8 more minutes before he opens his eyes and stands up uh,
Hmm.
and on the mechanical layer, have in fact used body and soul.
Okay.
If I get murdered, as long as I am not turbo murdered, I'll live.
Yeah, you'll
Uh,
live. Yeah, you're praying to your 'cause your people are pretty devout. And yeah, I think for everyone, there's like the oh this is serious or this is big, like these or oh this is gonna be juicy or this oh who's gonna get in trouble. You guys have a some even in what should be tense situations, some brevity. I think
yeah,
whatever you guys may have felt coming down here, seeing that he was praying lets you know that there is definitely a layer of legit seriousness to what's going on.
all right. So the very first thing, something to be absolutely clear on, uh, a job as it was posed to us. This is despicable. I don't want to go into details if I absolutely don't need to, but if I would have trouble sleeping as a whole at night if knowing what I know now, we completed the delivery as intended, as requested.
Does that mean
Bioweapons.
Not directly, rather the kinds of materials that a group of Solarian geneticists would find very useful towards ensuring that, and like his eyes like and his just like his head just turns like to look directly at Char as he continues speaking, ensuring that there was no way out of a certain weapon that had been used.
no, no? It's not on the ship. It's not on the ship. That you wouldn't do that. Not you,
It,
Nehemiah. No.
the fact that you're telling us this, are we hitting these motherfuckers?
You're not
That
getting it. I'm sorry. This is one mission that we're not completing. We're not completing this delivery. It's not happening.
No, we.
Well, as it turns out, our passenger, it seems, I'm not I don't think she's STG.
She.
She's about to be dinner.
She's not related. Not like that. Not like that.
Hmm.
She let this slip, and you're saying she's not STG.
No, she didn't let it slip. She was already aware. I think I'm not sure yet who she was working for or at least who alerted her, but she has been watching this group, and she's on this ship because she already has a plan to deal with it in the kind of final, thorough way that doesn't leave witnesses behind, doesn't leave these people an opportunity to do what they want to do or do much of anything. If you catch my drift.
If she's willing to do that to them, uh, aren't we like a really big liability?
For them, not for her. See, what she would appreciate is, well, she's the kind of operative who, at least is very confident that she can wrap this up herself. She
I
would,
don't trust the Solarian as far as I can throw him, and I can throw him pretty fucking far.
and
Wait.
with that in mind, I've already left us a back door to be on site for the work. I just need permission enough to she wants to know enough so that she can have a tactical understanding of what we be bringing to the table.
Diamond,
Yeah.
run the numbers. Do we have a Spectre on board? Because the Solarian government would love for genophage to be permanent. But the rest of the council would fucking hate it.
The odds, they aren't zero.
Oh,
So I can't eat her liver then.
no. The best case scenario, we do what she wants with whatever this op is. We then pick her up, take her to wherever she wants to be dropped off, and we get some form of pay. That's the best case scenario.
She's she's strongly implied a functionally unlimited budget. So as far as the bottom line goes, that can get taken care of. And of course, yeah, I understand what that means about the odds of her identity caveman. I didn't bring it up, and I recommend everybody else do the same,
Yeah.
lest we start becoming a problem.
Oh.
Prism, I know you're there.
Always. What's up, Charm?
If she comes anywhere near my area, no, I may not be able to control myself. So either knock me out or knock her out.
Believe me, I know how to neutralize you if I need to.
Good, because I'm very, very tempted to launch this package out into space and use our guns and destroy.
Fun.
I get the feeling, sure. But we're dealing with, we're at least in theory dealing with a Spectre op, which means having the actual chems makes things a lot easier for getting in, getting out. It also
Smooth the
means
edge.
I'm
she already
dealing
has
with a
stuff.
crazy person. But I'll follow the rules. Follow them for now. Just keep her away from me.
Yeah. Doc, you've been awfully quiet.
Sel has, when she started to hear Diamant talking, she lowered her clipboard and started giving him her undivided attention, which is
Mm-hmm.
quite rare considering her mind is always working.
Mm-hmm.
She has been considering the content of the crates and Char's mood this whole time. Prism,
Yes.
would it be possible for you and Bertie to adjust your scans to come up with a definite list of the contents of these crates?
If you are able to get us in there, I'm sure if you scan the materials, I will be able to find out its exact molecular breakdown pretty quickly.
She'll look to the rest of the team. I agree that we should go along with the Solarians' intent, but I would like to know what it is they want to work with, even if I do not have the experiment.
We're going to need the captain if we're going to try and breach the security on those crates.
Understood.
Yeah. Don't worry too much about well, optimally this is the kind of break-in we can do smooth and quiet. Because the less it looks like we've interfered with the delivery, the easier time we'll have with the ambush.
Maybe to get past Solarian security, you need a Solarian. What do I do? I'm just a ship's BI. What do I know?
I
You're
don't
not
like laying with snakes as it is.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
did she talk about extraction?
She wants us to be the extraction plan.
Us.
Shit, that means okay, I can't be down there with you. I gotta be in the bird.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because if things get hot, I'm flying right in. I don't care what their guns, what guns they have. I'm flying in and I'm picking you the fuck up.
We'll keep it in mind.
Perhaps my biotic weapons will be of use in this situation.
Gonna be on the ground team, Doc?
Yes.
And Char?
What?
You're gonna be boots on the ground, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, she had suggested to you, Diamant, that after you'd had a chance to talk with your crew, she wanted to talk to everybody. Would you still be wanting to organize that if it meant that her and Char had to be in the same room?
Uh,
You don't
as a
want
matter
me
of
in the
fact,
closed space with her.
what
Wait. I have a solution.
I got in mind.
Okay.
I have a solution. Char stays in the freight elevator with just the viewport open. And we have this conversation here in the cargo bay. She's down here. He's on the other side of the freight elevator blast door. We can have Prism pipe the meeting through the speaker system.
That
I'm
accept is that
fine with that.
acceptable?
I'm fine with that. Just know, if she says something off, I can't promise anything. Anything.
Perhaps it would be wise if I stay with Char for that meeting.
Yeah, it's it probably would.
All right.
Char,
Yeah, so
would it be amenable for me to move my laboratory equipment to your space for the time being?
whatever you want, dear. I need to go cool off because I
Bertie, please arrange a checklist of everything that we will need.
Right away, madam.
All right.
The amount.
Yeah.
So you want to break this to the captain, or do you want me to break this to the captain?
No, this is on me.
All right. Thanks. I know this ain't easy on you.
Yeah. Just remember keep on alternate plans. Side effect our unconfirmed specter has expressed some reluctance to do the face work, so
Got it.
yeah.
You want me to keep looking into that name?
She seemed a little bit familiar. Uh seemed like money motivated above all else, which might mean that if we're gonna be on planet for more than minimum time, that might mean that we can use her, make some more pocket change, maybe chase down
That, or if we're already getting caught up in Spectre business, we start building a file.
some work like that. Work like that. Next thing you know, you wake up and you're next thing you know, you wake up and we're a private army, pet soldier. Next thing you know, you're on the stand having to explain why uh why you felt the need to kill this person or that person, and well, specters never hold the bag. I guess that's all I'll say on that.
All right.
Mhm. We can assume that you can fill in the captain. We can also say that the conversation that has to happen with Shala, your captain can be there, and then we will let Satan be a part of the final plan implementation and expressing their thoughts and feelings on it for next week. But
Yeah, exactly.
sure, you can cool off a little bit while Diamant goes to deal with that. Sal, you've got things you can get moved. Um, can you roll me another medicine check? Oh,
Natural 20.
yeah, that's a 26.
Let's
Perhaps it
go.
was you were too lost in the weeds initially with like trying to process everything that was going on and the sort of thing that you could plan, and there was too many options and knowing exactly the right one to hit for a potential audience or a reason to get through was kind of fiddling away in your head. And it was actually breaking your concentration on it to focus on the conversation you just had, that sort of shifting again of priorities. Then when you go back to it, it suddenly clicks exactly the sort of thing that you would want to propose. And you are able to put together a pretty decent package of data that you believe will be very enticing. And hopefully it means that should you need to, you'll be able to get the attention of somebody from Binary Helix to smooth the passage onto the planet.
Excellent.
Mhm. Dima, you can go. As promised, Shala was in their quarters, um, awaiting on the result of the conversation.
So I suppose as for extra pairs of boots on the ground and hot weapons, you'll have four. I can and sniper with engineering expertise. Myself, a let's call it specialist, a multi and like he holds up a hand like and just like a little biotic parlor trick, like essentially, purely demonstrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that and battlefield tech expertise at short to medium range, along with uh battle master of, well, I don't know if renown's the right word, but consistent tested capability. And finally, Inasari with access to both capable biotics and medical expertise. Would it be fair to assume that you have both the highest levels of training as well as the highest levels of political backing?
Well, my skill set is extensive, primarily engineering. My political situation is complicated. Perhaps I should speak to the group about it.
Perhaps.
Are they all right with that meeting? I haven't heard your ship in distress, so I'm assuming that a hole was not punched completely out of it.
He is, despite an unfair reputation for unreasonability, he is he is entirely understanding, although given the circumstances and his own suspicions, when the meeting occurs, he will be at a distance from you.
His anger is justified. All right, well, shall we? And she kind of stands up and smooths out her clothing.
We shall. We shall.
Right. She will follow you down to the hold. And as she enters, she is going to pull down the hood that she's been wearing. It does reveal, unlike the two slightly longer, we'll call them horns that sit on top of most of the Solarians that you've seen, hers are shorter, stouter in a way. Those who know mostly just Cell, if we're being honest, because I'm pretty sure Cell has extensive understanding of the biology of pretty much every species in the universe. Definitely carries the notable markers of a female. Most because the vast majority of people will only ever have seen male Solarians, they don't actually know visually what the differences are. They have no reason to. Um, uh, maybe Sel knows the reason why. I don't think anyone asked. But she will enter into the hold and will stand central, open. Body language is also open. Thank you for meeting, everyone. I trust that your quartermaster here has explained the situation.
Are we carrying the genophage?
Well, no. But what I am doing is putting a stop to those who would make it resistant to efforts to cure it.
That's what you're trying to do?
That is what they're intending to do with that which you are transporting. They are trying to make it resistant to people's efforts to end it. I am putting an end to their efforts extensively.
Why should I trust the celerity?
You don't. You don't have to. I never would make you. My hope was that this package was still going to get delivered because I am hoping, perhaps in part, to use it to rig up explosives. It's my area of special interest. There won't be a research lab when I'm finished with it. To
I
remove
don't
this
trust
is to
you.
remove one package of something that they need. Sourcing another would be all too easy. You need to destroy the root of the problem, not just simply a part of it.
How certain are you that those that are all participants in this plan are going to be on site?
Well, in terms of actual bodies, that is not something I could guarantee exactly, but I do know that their research is kept pretty secluded to that area. To let that out is risky for them, cause a bit of a political stink. So
It'll cause
to
more than
remove the
that.
lab, to remove the lab is the most efficient way of trying to root out this issue.
Is there any intel on site about a point-to-point comm?
I will know better when I get closer. I understand that, well, none of you should have a reason to trust me. To trust someone immediately is foolish, and some of you have deep ingrained reasons to dislike those who are like me, and I understand where that comes from. As I grew older and performed my duties, as our females are supposed to do, I learned of the situation with the genophage, and it did not sit right with me, and I was my objections did not go down well. But I was not going to just sit around and take it, so I left. I have not yet been found, and I would appreciate it that all of you help prevent that from happening. Not that you need to help me, but I would appreciate not mentioning that I was here.
Should this op happen and everyone, including yourself, get extracted, do you have a point of interest for us to drop you off?
Several. I will not plan for which one it is until we know the means in which we are leaving. Some may prove too hot.
Well, considering just the slight, you know, the barest of debriefs that we've got. I'm expecting this to be a very hot extract.
Quite literally and figuratively, if I have my way. I'm very good at explosives.
Yeah, but that also means that I am flying through whatever defense systems they have to pick you off of a frozen rock.
And do you feel this mission is worth that?
If we get them all, yeah. My problem is if we don't get them all and there's no way that we can trace them back. Because the
Oh,
thing
we're
is,
getting them all.
Char, I know about body counts, but I also know about when ops go wrong, and it's because there are loose threats.
Yeah.
If we're stamping out the roaches, we have to get all of them.
I
And
got.
you're sure her fire is going to be enough?
I don't know if they have a point-to-point comm on site, or if there's any hard or soft intel as to it leading back to somebody. The thing is, an op like this, it's either incredibly secure, in which case it's all in one site, or there are multiple sites that are all working in tandem.
That's not the case. It does seem, I think, judging by the tones of emotional passion in some of you, that your interest in solving this problem is strong. And she will move to bring up her Omni tool, and it pings to every single one of you. It is a far more extensive than anyone should have layout, stemming from the main hub, but it is mostly focused on the transport to and the layout of the particular lab that you are going to. And then you see certain points become highlighted. These are all going to get neutralized. That's their ability to communicate back with the main center for any backup or security. Anything they try to get out will fail. And then when we get in, there's going to be scramblers. Make it difficult for them to communicate with each other. The package that's being delivered, and this is why it's essential the package still gets delivered, it's going to be the hot thing, the source for the main problem for them. As for getting out, I understood that there was a chance that I wouldn't. I was willing to die for this. I still am. We all have to go into our work feeling that way when we are doing things that matter.
I want to make an insight check on that statement.
Sure.
11. Dice have been pulled today.
Hard read. She's speaking emotively, you know, the tones that I was delivering and how I was speaking is how she's speaking, so you can make of that what you will.
Okay.
Mhm.
Please continue.
I'm gonna roll an intimidation. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, but oh,
Pretty well.
Someone's in the mood.
Know this, Solarian. I don't trust you. I don't trust your kin. Everyone in that lab dies. When we're ready to extract, you light the bomb. But once the communication is down, I'm unleashed. And I won't know who is in front of me. So watch yourself, else you'll end up a stain, one that I won't particularly miss.
Is that true for your friends as well?
They're a different matter entirely. You and these if you want to call them sentient beings, are on my shit list. You don't want to be on my shit list.
Noted. My purpose remains my purpose. My end goal is going to remain the same, whether you are all helping me or not. I did not need to tell you any of this. I went out on a limb, letting you know.
And it's appreciated. It changes nothing for me, though. I can't speak for the rest of them.
I think a lot has changed for you, now that you know what it is.
Only thing that's changed is that I don't like talking.
Then, with that in mind, I think we should call this a tentative plan laid out. As far as tactical realities go, we'll adapt on the fly. I think what that means is, and he just turns to look at her directly, like, well, look up at her even, and up and up. Stay close to me. I'll stay close to me. You give me directions. I'll handle the pathing. And we'll play what we need to by ear. And as for following up, making sure that there aren't loose ends. I know exactly which fixer set me up with this, which means he knows which means he knows who bought him. I know who I know who he directed me towards for future profitable work, which means that we've got an idea for, at the very least, who they're reaching out to when they have external needs. That means we've got leads to follow, we've got branches to cut.
Oh, I had to go. Sorry.
I also want it made quite clear
Yeah.
that while I understand your crewmates' displeasure at the situation, I am not going to have his heightened emotional state compromise this. That lab has to be destroyed in an efficient way. If they're alerted too soon to what's going on, it will not work. It
You
does not
don't
seem he is
need
very in control of himself.
you don't
You don't
need to
have to worry
worry.
about Char.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
You especially don't have to worry about me when it comes to getting into this place. It's once we're there.
As long as you're able to get yourself out in time.
You might call it you might call the tactical reality unconventional, but I can guarantee you he'll do what he says as he said it, and he's not going to get himself or anyone else killed um, because he can't follow through.
Yeah, these people mean more to me than you actually know, than you could ever know. They're getting out. You're on your own, according to me.
You're all getting out. Don't worry about that part. It's getting in that's going to be the hard part. Again, I don't care what sort of aerial defenses they have. I can land this bird on a dime. It's just
I should be able to hack into their gun systems once I'm in there. If they try to shoot at you, it won't go as they think.
It's good. That's the close approach. I'm also mildly concerned about the long approach. Because I'm going to have to, as soon as you guys are on your way, disembark from Port Hansham and then take up a position in high orbit. this is going to be a hot drop for this bird.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they see this bird falling out of the sky at the speed I am, they're going to know something's gone sideways.
Understood.
This
If you and I
also
are
means we're
remaining in
burning.
communication, we can alert each other to what's going on.
Yeah.
For the timings to be exact.
This also means that we're burning Novaria. Once we do this, we can't come back here.
That was never my plan anyway.
As far as problems go, that one's not the worst.
Just corpse have a longer meaning than any individual. And what we're doing is going to leave a memory that they're not going to forget.
And yet, the memory, the knowledge that this could secure for an entire species of people will surely be worth it.
I'm not talking about worth. Trust me, I understand about saving. But at the same time, I like to talk about realities. We're going to make a whole lot of enemies doing this.
Sure. What's life without a little risk taking?
Char's just in the freight hold right now, polishing a weapon.
She's going to start approaching the freight hold, but we'll stop short of actually getting right up to the window.
What? Whoops.
That never happened. No.
Mission aside, risks aside, personal stories aside, it may not be worth much, but for what it's worth, I am immeasurably sorry for what my people did to yours.
I appreciate that. It's the genophage. And I don't know you.
No.
So, if it was not for this crew, if it was not for her right here, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'll help you. But if you cross us, you'll have a very angry Krogan on your behind.
You deserve to be angry. What they did, it was unforgivable. What they all did, the Turians as well. They made the order to make it.
Yeah.
I understand that I look Solarian. Genetically, I am Solarian. But I left my people behind a long time ago. And for someone that has the status that I did, it was a big deal. But it was the right decision.
Your sacrifice is noted. And I'm sorry for what you've lost. It's hard to be without a people.
Perhaps it is. My people are not genetically predisposed to create the same sort of emotional attachments that other species do. It's perhaps not as difficult as it was for others.
You guys don't live very long, so I would expect it.
Well, there are many layers to it. Either way, I've said what I needed to say. I thank you all for agreeing to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'm also interested if there's time. It is something I was going to be attempting, but I cannot guarantee that I will be successful. I'm very good at what I do, but the mission came before this side product. I was hoping to perhaps download the files once I'm in there. There is not a single trace of what it is that they're doing outside of that lab. That I can assure you. I've tried. If I get it, I would like to bring those files to Tuchanka. They deserve to understand what they were trying to do. Perhaps in understanding that, they can figure out a way to fight against it. I'm not sure.
I don't know how to handle that.
Sel will place her hand on Char's shoulder. I too have a great interest in those files.
The reason I'm voicing this is that it was something I was hoping to do, but understood that perhaps my life may end when the mission ends. And this would not be possible. However, even if that comes to pass, there is now a chance. Now that there will be others there with me. If I do not make it, perhaps you will. And you can finish what I would like to do.
Understood.
It's like you know how to push my buttons. I'll protect you. So long as you get that data to Trunka like you asked, or you promised.
If I find them, and I am alive, and we're all going, I think you should be the one that hands it over. No? I don't think me handing it over would be very well received.
Oh, I can get it to the right people. Um, Now, whether or not they accept it is going to be another thing. I will vouch for you as best I can, but until our scientists go over it, I can't promise anything.
Understood.
Would you like your name mentioned?
If we succeed, and it comes to pass, then yes.
Okay.
But it would be my true name that I would give them. Not the name I've been using.
Good to know. Okay. All right. I'm on board.
Well, sounds like there is a plan to concoct. I'm willing to help assist in your ability to pass through. It is a little tricky to have my face in their scanners in case the files come up of who I actually am. However, I was once in charge of the Division of Mechanical Engineers and Scientists. I helped train most of the STG to do what they do. So, if those skills will help, let me know. Perhaps their scanners won't pick up everything that you have with you.
you can help me get my shotgun in, I think we can do something.
It's 2 crates you have with you. Perhaps there will be a third.
Nice. Well, what do the rest of you make of this?
I am still in agreement to go.
I'm on board. I just need to run up some stairs and start doing some scans of the planet, get an idea of the topography, especially around your target zone.
You've now got what she filed through to you, so you know exactly which of the areas that you're going to, which lab you're going to. It also handily has exit points from the back end in case of like fire or evacuation, etc. You now have schematics for the back end of this lab as well.
Got some
That
prep work
and
to
patch
do.
in to get the local weather report because that's
Ooh.
going to be a factor.
Constant blizzards.
So got some prep work to do. Some names to chase down. As you as I'm sure you all know, I I'm perfectly fine doing work. I understand confidentiality, but I don't appreciate being used. And someone's tried to use me, to use us. I'm not going to forget about them, and I'm not going to let it go.
Make them pay.
Agreed.
Well, if any of you have need of me, let me know.
Will do.
All right. And with that, on that tone, with much revealed, much still to investigate, and a plan to fully form and execute next session, that is the end of episode 2, everybody. Thank
Woo!
you for sticking with us. Well done, everybody. That was good. Hope y'all had a good time with us. We are going to do our goodbyes, and then I will do my own at the tail end of it. So if we go the reverse order in which we came in, starting with Kay.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay or Kay Phoenix on the internet. I play our ship's doctor, Dr. Selenu, or a sorry with a vanguard or an Elcor parent. Sorry, well, scatterbrained. You can see me here every Saturday playing our ship's doctor. After this season, you can see me in our Dragon Age game in Darkness Unbroken, same time spot.
Hey everybody, it's Master Poet. I've been Heard Not Char, your now moody Krogan boy. Uh, you can find me here every Saturday for our favorite game at the Citadel.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Build on the internets. It's been an absolute blast playing Victor Caveman Grace, your token human soldier. Uh, if you want to see more of this silly face, you get a couple opportunities throughout the week. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern over on Praxagora Thesmophoria. I know that's a lot of letters. You get to see me continue to wear this hat as we're starting a Mass Effect game over there. However, I'll be sitting in Humalu's chair for that one. This is, as you've seen, like just after Eden Prime. That one starts right after Shepard makes a big boom happen at the end of ME2. So If you want to see a little bit more forward in the timeline, we'd love to have you. And then for something completely different, Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, over on Wandering DM, we are continuing on in season 5 of Montreal by Night, our Vampire 5th Edition campaign, where we could be happy underground, but right now, someone's sire became a white, was found, and is now staked. So, yeah, all sorts of feels kind of drama. So definitely be back here for more of those feels. And thank you all so much for being here. We're a live VOD YouTube stories, nothing without science. You're much part of this as we are. Take care of yourselves and one another, and I'll see you soon.
And of course, it's been fantastic being with you all as Diamant. But if you want to find me elsewhere, you can look on bird sites of all sorts as at Joss Dyson. That's JOSADISON on Twitter and Blue Sky, and perhaps even on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shinobi. But of course, if you can't wait that long, if you can't wait for me to post a message or run a stream, you can in fact come back here to twitch.tv/Valdrianth on Friday afternoons for Avatar Legends, where I will be playing Kim Ji-woon, the greatest absolute top goat firebender you'll ever could find. Can't wait to see you there, and I know I'll see you here.
Yeah. Very good. And hi, I am Emma, or Hamalu on the internet. I have been your storyteller slash galaxy mistress for this fine story. In terms of me, you can see me on Monday over at Horde of Tales for the finale of our Thirsty Sword Lesbians game Severed City. That is run by Phoenix Femme, who was uh in the stream earlier. I don't know if you are still there, my friend. It's going to be great. There's lots of thirst and there's lots of emotions. It's a common theme in games that I am on. It's a subheading for the Dragon Age game I run here. Um, other than that, I have a project that will be launching in the spring, in March, that is another Dragon Age game on a stream, and then also a podcast using Liminal, which is in rural Wales in the 70s, with lots of spooky things happening. It's good. As for the channel, Thursdays is for the Old Gods of Appalachia game, run by Jamie, who is beloved of me and beloved of the channel and Val. And then on Fridays is, as mentioned, is the Smoke and Ashes Avatar Legends game, which I believe last time it was the Real Housewives of Ba Sing Se. I mean, spectacular. Spectacular. It was really great when I was in last. So that is me, us, the channel. We're gonna be rating, so please do stick around and give some hype and some dinosaurs if you have them in the chat. We are going to friend of Val and the channel Tyrone, which is Unsheathed P, playing some StarCraft 2. So stick around. More sci-fi lovelies. Yay! Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.